Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, this is Dan Brzezowski. You're back in the No Comfort Zone, and today's more of a serious topic that I wanted to address about some things that are going on right now. One, in the military community, but also it's like an epidemic right now. And I want to put some awareness on a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. When I talk about mental health, there's a reason why I talk about mental health. 4 months of my life I spent in a mental institution, realizing that, one, I was an addict. Two, I realized that I had very poor tools when it came to coping with high levels of stress and adversity in my life. So this podcast, what it really came from was my medical support team at the VA in Great Lakes Naval Air Station in Illinois. The medical team that helped me out of my coma after an attempted suicide from taking roughly 400 different pills at one time with alcohol and street drugs, to falling into a coma, to being out of insurance and my mom calling up the VA asking if they could help. And with my DD-214 for my service in the United States Marine Corps from 1988 to being honorably discharged in 1992, and as a matter of fact, being in the Marine of the Year in 1990 at Quantico Marine Base, Headquarters and Service Battalion, Headquarters and Service Battalion, Military Personnel Company. I was able to get admitted into the VA, and they took phenomenal care of me. My medical staff, from the doctors, the psychologist, to the nurses, to everybody that was there, the orderlies and everybody, and dealing with my sleep issues, dealing with my stress issues, and dealing with my depression I had at the time. The goal was to get me off all of the medications, get me to a place where I could function without breaking down every 2 seconds, because I lost my family to divorce. I lost my wife to divorce. I became financially broke because of lack of emotional stability, and I was devastated. And for a short period, I was homeless. I ended up moving back in with my mom, became addicted to drugs and alcohol at a massive level, and was suicidal for a good 2 years. And when I finally decided to pull out my life insurance policy and take my own life because I felt I was better off more dead than I was alive, I waited for the insurance policy to reach the date, and I made the attempt. And thank God that my mom was keen and sent some paramedics over to my house in the wee hours of the morning after being up all night. She saved my life. So my mom literally was an angel that saved my life and got me the help and stuff that I needed. 4 months of going through that was horrible, but it's the best thing I ever did. And then I had 2 months of rehab on 2 different occasions. So for 6 months of my life, I had a chance to focus on me and my shortcomings. I had a chance to identify all the things wrong with me. Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. I've been clean and sober for a long time now. I don't take drugs in any way, shape, or form. I don't do anything that's going to compromise my sobriety. To me, sobriety has nothing to do with alcohol or drugs. My sobriety is hinged upon me telling the truth. I hang my hat on that every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. So why am I talking about mental health? I saw 2 Facebook posts today about PTSD and suicide with servicemen. Now, PTSD is known to be in combat and for veterans. I do not have PTSD, sorry. I do not have that. What I do have is I don't handle stress very well when it comes on a big level. Let's face it. The divorce almost killed me. The bankruptcy almost killed me. The drugs almost killed me. The alcohol almost killed me. My lifestyle almost killed me. I put myself in those situations. There's men and women that are in the service that commit to do something greater for themselves, greater than themselves, and they commit to a higher cause. That's the person that I salute, the person that actually decided to make that commitment. The trained person in the Army, Air Force, Marines, or Navy, I respect that person and I appreciate the service as well, because I do know what it takes to go through the training. I do know what it takes to be deployed, and I do know what it takes to be heartbroken and be away from family and to commit to that lifestyle. I understand that, but I've never seen combat. I recently read a book by Kyle Carpenter, You Are Worth It. I highly recommend you get that book. It's a phenomenal book. The book is, that person is what most men need to emulate. That young man, to me, is just a phenomenal human being. The courage and his tenacity to keep bettering himself and not quit is fantastic. So I salute that person, Kyle. If I ever get a chance to meet you, it's going to be a highlight of my life. Thanks for your service. And like your book says, you're worth it. And I really do believe it. I am worth it. And why do I say that? Because I will never say that I've been through the hell that some of these people have been. But after the fact, when they're home, and there's people that you could be a battered spouse, you could have PSD for a lot of different reasons, been through a traumatic experience, whatever that might be. But mental health is a serious topic, and emotional health is too. And rather than prescribing medication to put Band-Aids on these problems, and it even says on the side of these bottles that you need therapy with this, you need to talk to somebody. You need to check in with somebody. And if somebody has an opportunity to reach out to you and let you know that they're struggling with something, or you think they're a little overwhelmed, be the person that reaches out to them. Be that person to slow down. Be that person to make eye contact, listen to what they have to say, and check in with them. That's all it takes, because if you're dealing with something like that, you're just trying to get through the day and get to the next day. And there's a lot of people out there. There's dads that can't see their kids. That'll tear you up. There are people that get a paycheck, but they have to give it over to their families and they have to live on nothing. And that's the way the law is. That's the way it works, and that's where I was at. There's also mothers out there with their kids that don't receive a dime from their significant other that produced that child, and they don't do anything, and they are deadbeat. And I've been called that too. Furthest thing from the truth, but I've been called that too. My own son called me an absentee father in one of his web posts. Broke my heart to hear that. That's his opinion, and we're going to mend that as time goes on. But having to deal with all these struggles and everything, everyone's in this, and we're all in this together. And what you really need to do as a human being is you need to realize that people are struggling, and it's your responsibility and your job to be that hero for somebody else by listening, by helping, by assisting, by checking in, by engaging, by becoming better so that you can help that next person and he can pay it forward, she can pay it forward. It's terrible when you hear of somebody that does that with suicide. It's awful. And this is a real serious topic for me, and there needs to be more awareness and help veterans get through it. They need some help. There's a lot of veterans out there. I don't know what the statistic is, but I think it's like suicides are up like 30% in veterans than over the past. And it's the society that they come back to that they're in right now. There's fighting on the political sides, Democrats, liberals, Republicans, and the extremists. There's these different factions. There's a lot of things that are going on. And then you got your own family turmoil. You know, it could be the same thing. And then you got work turmoil going on. There's a lot of stress. And the No Comfort Zone Blueprint helps you get out of focus from all the nonsense that you're experiencing. It helps you focus on what's really important, and that's you. Helps you get centered so you can, as the Navy SEALs say, get that portal vision. You can focus on the core of who you are, and your meat suit, your body that's you're living in doesn't really matter anymore. You can work on your spiritual side. You can work on your emotional side. And yeah, this podcast, it's not really motivational or inspirational, but just remember, you might be the reason somebody hangs on for one more day. So reach out to more people. Get out of your comfort zone and help somebody else live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye.